Sure.
I think nobody's gone 3 in a row since Kobe and Shaq Lakers.
Yo, we live.
Live, yo.
Critical Thoughts. Got your man Adam Neal, Rilla Crowley.
Yeah.
Be in the building. Give you a little short one for the week.
Yeah.
Preparing y'all for tomorrow.
Game
Just
6.
in case y'all don't know, it's Wednesday live from Brooklyn. Thursday, giving y'all that game 6. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we in the building, man. Welcome back to Critical Thoughts.
I like the music over here.
Yeah. We switching it up on them. Yeah, so what we talking? We watching the NHL.
Stanley Cup Finals, Game 1.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, Colorado. It's Tampa Bay going for their 3rd Stanley Cup championship in a row. In Colorado, the number 1 seed in the West, up 3-1. Game 1 in Colorado. Colorado showing you why they've been made. Some people think the best team in hockey this year. They've had the 1 seed. They kind of blew through the playoffs. They swept Nashville. They swept Edmonton in the West Final. They beat the Blues in 6. They only lost 2 games on the way to this finals. They've been playing really good hockey, and they're at home and they're playing really good tonight. Tampa made a couple of. The goalie gave a soft goal. Then they had a 5-on-3. They scored. Colorado. You can't make mistakes against this team, I'm noticing. You make a mistake against Colorado, they're going to make you pay.
Facts.
But Tampa Bay's still in this game. We're midway through the second, 3-1. Tampa Bay's had an interesting run. They're the 2-time defending champs. They were the 5th seed in the East this year. So the 3 playoff series they won to get here, they all were on the road in game 1 and 2. They were not the home ice advantage team. So they've been on the road. The Road Warriors in this playoffs, but they're a 2-time defending cup champ. They have the pedigree. They have that kind of experience. So they took the road, the tough road, and they'll be okay in the series.
Shout out to the Rangers, man.
Yeah, Rangers. The Rangers had a great run in the playoffs. They really did. They had a great run. They came back down 3-1 in the first round of the Penguins.
Kind of unexpected, right?
Well, they had a good year. They were actually with the 3 seed in the East. They had a good year, but in the playoffs, the way they went about it, it was the type of thing where the Rangers could have lost in the first round to Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh's a team that wins. They win cups. They're a winning team more than the Rangers. So in the last 20 years, so people thought the Penguins were going to win in the first round. They got superstars. They got they're the Penguins. So the way the Rangers came back down 3-1 against the Penguins was crazy. Was great. Right? Then they go into the next series against Carolina, a team that's really good at home. They were the 2 seed. They have won the cup 4 or 5 years ago. They're another pretty good club.
Right.
And the Rangers were down 2-0 in that series and came back and won in 7. So they had 2 great series. And then they go to the Tampa series against these guys, and they're up 2-0 at home. They end up losing 4-2 in the series, but it was competitive. It was good hockey. They lost to the champs, they didn't get smacked. They played a very competitive series. So the Rangers had a great playoff run.
Shout out to the Rangers, man.
Yeah, and then, I was outside the Garden a couple of those nights, just walking around the city after work, and it was lit over there. Like people were hyped. Like even people who weren't even Rangers, they were talking about, oh yeah, people can go by 30. People knew what was going on. Like it was a buzz in the city.
It's New York.
Rangers, yeah.
That's how New York get down.
Yeah, then New York was definitely buzzing. The Rangers had buzz in the May for sure, and early June. So shout to them. Shout to Boston and Golden State NBA Finals Game 6 tomorrow night.
It's lit.
Yeah, we got 3-2 Golden State.
How are we looking?
We got 3-2 Golden State going to Game 6 in Boston. It's going to be a tough chore. Winning in Boston, winning the title possibly in Boston. I don't like the way it looks like they could do that tomorrow. I think Boston's a little tired. I think Udoka's kind of cut the rotation, and you can see Boston's legs are a little
tired,
weary. I feel like Golden State plays a better brand of ball because of the way they run their offense. But I still think Boston's going to figure out a way to win that game tomorrow night. With those 2 factors working against them, I just feel like they're going to tough it out at home. Like they're gonna have a real home win tomorrow night, where the crowd's gonna, that Boston crowd is gonna be in a frenzy.
That Boston crowd is tough.
It's tough.
That's because they're hostile.
Yeah, they're very hostile.
It's a hostile environment.
That's a perfect word to describe the Celtics at home. Hostile. That's what you need. That's what you want as a home player, and your home crowd is hostile.
Yeah,
and that place is gonna be a zoo,
especially for Game
night.
6.
Yeah, and in the NBA Finals, it's gonna be a zoo, straight up tomorrow.
It's gonna be a zoo.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of shit talking. Boston can get a little racist.
Boston's going to have energy from the crowd, major energy. That's why I think they should use the bench a little bit more tomorrow. Let those guys who, the reserves get the energy from the crowd. Sometimes that's where you get these gems from. Guys like Peyton Pritchard, Horford, these bench guys, they usually play better at home than on the road. Your backups. So I think I think Boston will have a real home game. But you know what? Golden State is so dangerous that they can still win. So it's a crazy game tomorrow night. That's must-watch TV.
Yeah.
Because you got guys like Curry and Clay, and when Curry's just going hot, what are you gonna do? He can hit 8 threes.
Man, I heard somebody say on the net, Curry might go for 50 this game. He might go for straight up 50, boy.
He wants to he wants that Finals MVP
that fourth,
too.
And he wants that Finals MVP that he hasn't got
for sure.
Yeah.
And then Wiggins had a good game last night, so Wiggins is in the mix too. If Curry doesn't have a good game, you never know.
I don't know if you noticed, but Wiggins has been giving Jason Tatum a problem.
Wiggins has been balling out,
and I feel like Wiggins is like the perfect matchup for Jason Tatum.
I knew that. Yes,
lengthwise, speed-wise,
all of that.
And he's a person like. See, I like players like Andrew Wiggins. I think we said this in previous podcasts, and I think Adam feels the same way. Like a player that's gonna go get it. He's not afraid of the moment, and he's not afraid of your status. You're Jason. He don't he's gonna play whoever, LeBron, whatever it is. He's gonna go.
You saying that because I noticed that because he hasn't been in the playoffs much in his career, so we didn't really know what he was made of in the big moments. Wiggins, he was playing in Minnesota. We didn't really know. But I noticed last year when they played LA in that play-in tournament, they played the Lakers in that first game. Dude, he was all over LeBron, blocking his shot. I was like, whoa! He was dogging, he was digging in defensively.
Yeah,
I was like, damn. And then this year in the playoffs, he's been really good defensively and just all around. He's just been good.
He's been good. He's been balling.
So he's you got to call him playoff Wiggs, man.
Playoff Wiggs.
Who knew?
Playoff Wiggs.
This was a guy that people said was like a zombie at one point in his career. Now he's playoff Wiggs. So they see how things can just change.
I think he found his place too. That's very important.
Playing on a team with Golden State, super high IQ, good organization from the top to bottom. That type. Steph, Clay, and Dre playing with those three, they're going to put you in a position to do well. That's how ill they are. They get theirs, and you're going to get yours. They have room for a Jordan Poole to score 20 points a game. There's room for Wiggins to get 15, 18, 20 points, 10 rebounds.
Right.
There's room for you to do your thing with those three guys. And they're going to still come up big when they need to and do what they got to do. So, that core is just crazy. And I
don't think a lot of people realize that next year is going to be worse.
I've been saying this.
It's going to be worse.
Win 4, they're going to probably win 5 next year. Steph, because look, Steph is going to be one of those quick boom booms, and then you're going to be like, oh shit, Steph got 5 chips.
Right.
Well, yeah. He got 5 chips.
Yeah, we're going to now y'all got to really start that conversation.
He's stepping into LeBron's toes if he wins this 4th.
If he wins this 4th, it's not there's no maybe. He's on his toes. Yeah. He's on his toes. And I think that's one of the reasons I love Steph for this, and maybe I'm wrong, but the way I feel and the way it looks like Steph purposely is on some shit I don't want to, because LeBron he's a fiend. He done threw it out there. One day I want to team up with Steph. Steph shut it down in a way that it was respectable, because of course LeBron gets that respect. He's a hell of a player.
Yeah.
But the dominance as having that mentality of going for it. He's like, you know what? I got my team. I'm gonna do it with my team.
Yeah.
And that's it.
LeBron, that's how
I don't want to join up and that's why I feel like a lot of people too not to go into a rant, but a lot of people always bring up this KD thing. Like, KD came in there, yeah, hell of a player. He's gonna make a difference in whatever team that he's gonna be in. But we talking about Stephen Curry.
They
like
already
Stephen
had that
Curry.
shit set up. They already had won a championship before KD got there. They had that thing set up.
This is a fact.
I could see LeBron doing that. The reason he did that because he wants to thwart Steph Curry. That was almost like, nah, yo, you're not surpassing me because if I come to Golden State, I'm gonna get credit for the chip and you ain't.
Type of shit, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Think about it. If they got 4 chips each and LeBron goes to Golden State and they win, who's going to get the credit?
Yeah.
Right, LeBron. The lady is going to get that. Steph's like, and honestly, I think behind closed doors, Steph is not having any of
he's
that.
He's not. And
he
then I feel like
told the GM, yo, if you trade for LeBron, you better trade me. I'll fucking I'll have you kidnapped.
Facts. Facts. Probably not that strong, but yeah, close to it.
Yeah,
close to it.
He just gave him a look like, don't even think about it, my guy.
Yeah, my guy, don't even think about it. Because like I've always felt like this too. Like when you got a foundation that you could roll with, and you could go all the way with, it just feels more special.
Yeah.
It feels like you actually earned it.
Yeah, Steph did it with the same team.
Yeah, he
LeBron
did it with
been
the same.
jumping around.
Like I don't
respect.
Like I don't understand why. Like a lot of people don't understand. Like that's kind of the best way to go about it.
Of course.
Cause you feel, cause you actually feel that shit.
Built
like
it up.
Yeah, like you like, yo, we did it. No extra help, no crazy shit. We just did
I
it.
didn't have to run nowhere else. Oh, look at this shit. The guards, Tampa Bay, Kucherov. Let's go. 3-2, Colorado. Here comes Tampa Bay. That was a pretty ass goal.
Yeah.
By Kucherov.
Yeah.
And Pelage out there. That's their first line. That was pretty. Watch the replay on this. Look at this. Watch this. Here comes a breakout. Pelage setting up, getting to the middle. Little dribble handoff. Oh, did you see that? Yo, you got to see the replay on that. Nah. Watch. But son,
that was
the
fire.
way he went through him, though, you got to see the whole thing.
He went through the
He
dude that was
it,
coming, and he just
watch.
clocked it right there. That was special.
Yo, they ran an ill 2-man game just now. That was so dope. Palat and Kucherov. Woo. And see, Tampa Bay, not out of it. 3-2 now. They're just right in the game. Here they go again. Here comes Cirelli. 3-on-2. Tampa Bay. Oh, they're putting the pressure on. They're feeling it right now. I want to see the replay of that goal again. That shit.
I feel like and this is probably the first
here
time.
we go. Here we go. I'm rooting for Tampa, y'all, just to let y'all know, man. I
Tampa
like
2, Colorado 3.
I used to like when we used to play NHL 93, the hockey game, the video game, and Anthem. I used to we got good at the game, so you had to lose like suckier teams. And then Tampa Bay was a goal tie game. Let's go!
Wow.
Woo! I told you we're feeling it right now.
Wow.
Let's go! Let's go!
Wow, 3-3.
Kemper with a shot from the point. Bang, bang.
3-3.
2 goals in a minute.
Damn.
Let's go. The Ning dynasty out here.
That's crazy.
This was a nice shot from the point. Look, there's so many guys there, he can't see it. Look, a nice wrister. That shit hit off the post.
That was
bing,
tough.
bing. That went bing, bing.
That was tough.
Watch this shot. Nice wrister. Watch him wrist it. Boing.
That was fire.
Sergachev. Look at that. I told you, the Russians, Kucherov and Sergachev. Here they come. Babaruski, Harashor. The Russian Tampa Bay.
Babaruski.
Yeah. The Tampa Russian connection is here. 3-3. Now we got a real game. Oh, here comes Colorado. Ooh, good shot. Good save by Vasilevsky. Tampa Bay, yeah. So I used to play the game, and Tampa Bay was an expansion team, so I was using them. Yeah, so I was using them to play because you had to use, and I was using them a lot. I just remember always liking their uniforms, and I was like, yeah, I like Tampa Bay. So when they got kind of good, I was like, yeah, I fuck with Tampa Bay. I like them. And then I went to Tampa, and I really like the city. Tampa Bay is a really cool city in Florida, if you don't know. So I fuck with Tampa. I almost went to a game when I was out there. I was like, yo, because the hotel we were staying in was right by the arena.
Okay.
Like right across the street. And it was like, oh, wow, I want to go to a game. We didn't go, but it was actually Super Bowl weekend. It was actually I was in Tampa for a show for my job,
Right.
and it was Super Bowl weekend when the Patriots made that ill comeback against the Falcons.
Okay.
I was in Tampa watching the Super Bowl, having a blast out there. It was cool. But Tampa's a cool city, man. The scene is like pretty cool. It's mixed. It's like a little hip hop, but not too. It's like smooth over there.
Where's Tampa at again?
It's in Florida.
Florida, yeah,
It's
right.
a little bit north. It's not as far south as Miami. There was actually girls who came up from Atlanta to come party in Tampa.
Oh wow.
Tampa's up north. It's like in the middle
Right.
of Florida. Very cool city. I was very surprised. Like,
Shit
right
is
by the
looking
square.
good. Like what score right now? They
3-3.
3-3. Yeah.
Tampa with a nice comeback. Yeah. It wasn't looking so good. Down 3-1. Colorado almost scored again a couple times. It was looking like, oh man. But Vasilevsky is kind of the goalie for Tampa Bay is kind of settled in. And Tampa grinds, man. They grind. And they got some guys that can get busy. You know? Maybe not the biggest superstars, but all of their guys are good, like Kucherov, Stamkos, Palat, Cirelli. I forget his name, Killorn. They got a bunch of dudes, man. Braden Point, Sergachev. They can defend. They got good defense. Tampa Bay's got some players over there. McDonough's a good defensive centerman. They're a very good team. I think they're gonna win the series too. A lot of people don't agree. I think Tampa wins in 7. And people may seem Colorado's got a little more speed. It might be a little more talented, maybe. But this Tampa team, you just win, man. They're a tough, rugged team that plays good offense together. It's like they have a synergy. That's the word I was thinking about. The Lightning have an ill synergy amongst them. It's like the sum of the parts is the sum is bigger than the parts added up. Like you add the parts together, it's good, but then when you put it together, it's worth more. Like they're better than that. Like they just have a good synergy. This team, that's what makes them really special. It's not like they have all these superstars and they just have a good synergy. They just play well off of each other. Personalities, all that stuff. They're just very they're fixing the glass here. 3-3, 5 minutes left to go, second period. Good fucking. This game's been a microcosm of how good the NHL playoffs have been. More scoring, more chances, more open ice. Like, look, we got 3-3 in the second period. It's still not even the second period's done. You know, we're getting to another game where we get like 8, 9, 10 goals in a game. That's what we like to see. 2-1 is cool, but I'd rather see 5-4. I just would. Rather watching a hockey game, would you rather watch 2-1 game or 5-4? You want to watch 5-4? You know, we want to watch goals. Just like we watch boxing, we want to see people get hit. We see punch in the face. Watch basketball, you want to see guys get dunks, threes, and all kinds of other cool shots. Baseball, you want to see some home runs and base hits. Football, you want to see some touchdowns, some big plays, some big passes, some big runs. You know, it's natural. Defense is cool too. You can respect some good D, but you know, you want to get the offense. At the end of the day, offense is fun. Maybe it doesn't win championships, but it sells, it sells tickets. And it catches views. People like to see an offensive juggernaut, a defensive juggernaut. Look at this Colorado knocked away at the end. Good skate. Tampa behind their own net, trying to move the puck up ice. Good, nice long pass. And now they dump and chase. When Tampa was on the game, they throw nice passes. They're a very good passing team. The puck stays on their sticks. They're not. Then the Colorado's got this guy McKinnon. Boy, he can skate. Boy, he is like a dynamo out there. Nathan McKinnon. He's probably their best player. He's a dynamic player on Colorado. Oh, nice tip. And they got Landeskog and a couple of Lettinen, and they got some dudes on this Colorado team. They got the defenseman. I forget his name, Palak or something like that. He's really talented. Kadri. They got a good team. Colorado's got some studs out here. Their goalie's pretty good. He's okay. He's not great, but he's solid. He can give up some goals. He's not when Vasilevsky's on his game, Tampa's goalie, he could be elite. You know what I mean? He when he's on his top form, he could shut you out. Like, that's what he does. So good stuff out here. I almost redirected there. Ooh. Oh, here comes Sorelli for Tampa. Shot. Ooh, good shot. Save. We got 3 minutes. I'm going to see if there's some baseball on we can check out right now for y'all. Critical thoughts. Yankees are playing the Rays. What's the score here? Yankees have been going baseball-wise. Yankees have been just beating everybody. They haven't been playing great teams recently, but they've been just beating everybody. I mean, Detroit, not a good team. They beat them up. Tampa, they've been beating them. They did sweep the Angels, I think, and they were pretty good. They've been in a losing streak, but I consider that good. The Angels are a pretty good team. Who else did they play? Recently, I don't know, but they've been beating teams. I think they played. Did they play Kansas City? No. Oakland, Texas. I don't know, but they've been winning. They have a ridiculous record, 45-16. I still see that they're not like super duper. Oh, the Cubs, a bad team in the National League. They beat up on the Cubs too. They swept them, swept the Cubs, swept Detroit, swept the Angels, won the first couple against Tampa Bay. But I could still see them in a scenario in the playoffs where they're playing a good team and it's struggle. So even though they're having a great year, they still haven't been able to win the big series in the playoffs. So we'll see if they can get past that this year. And I'm not sold yet if they can. I'm not sold. I still see some holes. I still see some starting pitching maybe issues. I still see a lack of speed on the offense. You know, they might be a little bit too right-handed hitting-wise. They did add Gallo and Rizzo last year, who was still on the team, but Rizzo's doing well, but they're both hitting low average. They don't really have a true everyday center fielder. Judge, I don't know if you're going to play Judge in center field all the time. They can still make some moves. And there's some decent teams in the AL you got to deal with. The Astros, I think the Angels are going to be somewhere in the mix. Red Sox, Blue Jays. Those teams are tough. Minnesota's an interesting team. The Twins. I think they might be a little dangerous this year, the Twins, on the low. On the low. National League is interesting. You got the Mets. You got the Dodgers, who probably on paper got the best team, for sure. But you got the defending World Series champion Braves, who are hot as hell right now. They're on fire. Even without Freddie Freeman, they still got some players over there. And especially they can hit. And they got good management. Braves are tough. Mets are playing great. And they've been playing great without their two aces. They got two ace pitchers, ace starting pitchers, like legit aces. Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer. And they've been without those guys and still winning a lot. So San Diego looks like a type of team that's dangerous too. The Padres. They've been pretty good the last few years. I feel like they're dangerous this year because they're kind of flying under the radar a little bit. No Tatis. Tatis has been hurt. He hasn't even played. But they've been playing well. The Padres. I feel like the Padres are a dangerous team in the National League. Flying under the radar a little bit. San Fran's still solid. The Brewers are dangerous too because they have the potential to have really good starting pitching, like almost lights out. When everyone's healthy and grooving, like they got some pitching over in Milwaukee. Some homegrown, some starters, boy, and relievers. They got a good pitching, the Brewers. And they have some hitting. They're playing well right now. They're not playing dominant, but they got a couple of pitchers hurt. But if they can have everything straightened out by the playoffs, maybe add a bat, Brewers are a dangerous team. I feel like they've got potential. So yeah, the Cardinals. The Cardinals are playing well too. Don't sleep on them. They're a team that, they have a good farm system. They develop players, they develop pitchers. You always think, oh, they lost this guy and this guy, but they're always getting new guys from their farm system that can play. They can pitch, they can hit. So they replenish. The Cardinals are a team you always got to look out for. A very good organization. Same with the Giants. In the West, you can't sleep on the San Fran Giants either. They're another team, good organization, develops players in the minor leagues. So they lose guys, but they still have guys that you don't know, but they're on the come up. They're that type of team. So it's interesting. Even the Phillies are a little dangerous. They can hit. They need some pitching, but the Phillies can rake. They don't have a bullpen either, but if they can get us some pitching going somewhere, they can score. So they're a dangerous team too. But yeah, the baseball's running out like that. The Astros still look good in the West, even without Correa. They've lost some players the last few years. Springer, Correa, Garrett Cole. I think another pitcher, Charlie Morton. But they still winning. They still got their core dudes. And they keep adding to the core. Like, they let Correa go, but they got this kid Pena playing shortstop who's good for Houston. So they're developing players too. That's the key. Baseball, your farm system. Do you develop players? Do you develop major league talent, ready talent? Because if you do, you're going to keep winning. You're going to be, whether or not you signing your own free agents, whatever, if you can keep developing good talent and have a good organization, you're going to keep winning. That's why you see these teams like St. Louis is always pretty good. The Dodgers farm system has gotten better recently, but the Braves are always good in the NL. The Cardinals, the Giants, the Dodgers, all those teams constantly. Boston Red Sox, again, doing it. I forgot about them. They're actually hot too. Toronto's been developing players recently, but not over the long term. But Boston, Houston, and the Yankees. You got to give the Yankees credit too. They've been developing players also. So, and the Indians haven't done a bad job. They've been a pretty solid team. Even when they lost the World Series, they have a pretty decent team over in Cleveland. They're okay. The White Sox are supposed to be the team in the Central, but it's the Twins that are hold. The Twins still seem to find their way in the playoffs by hook or by crook. The Minnesota Twins somehow get in the playoffs, and it looks like it's going to be that way again. And I kind of like with Correa in there, that lineup, they can hit. If they get another team, find some pitching, you never know. Some of these teams that can hit. To me, that's a new thing in baseball. Like, it used to be pitching, dominant, pitching was good. Now, to me, if you can hit, you got a chance. Because teams are like manufacturing pitching a little bit. Bullpen starts, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
You talking baseball?
Yeah, I'm talking a little baseball to them right now. My big little baseball.
Who's playing right now?
Little Yankees, little Rays. Just trying to check the Yankees out real quick. I say, the Yankees, they're always in the playoffs most of the time. They're World Series contenders pretty much every year. But they've only won one World Series since 2000. 2009. And they've been in the playoffs a lot of losses in the playoffs since then. So I was telling somebody today, Yankee fan, it's funny, we're talking about this. I told this the curse of Cashman. She was like, why? What do we mean? I was like, he's their GM. It's kind of like a little weasel. He's been basically doing a lot of like buying players. Although he's done a good job with certain spots, certain trades, they've been developing some players too. You know, he's had a good checkbook. Right. So I don't really think much of Cashman. And I feel like there was something that happened where I said, you know, the curse of this guy, Brian Cashman, they're not going to win. Like right now, they have the best record in baseball. They have the guy who might win MVP. It looks like the AL MVP frontrunner, Aaron Judge. They have the best record. They're the Yankees. But I still feel like looking at them that they could get got in the playoffs is what my thought was. Like, I still can see them getting got in the playoffs. Like, they're not like, oh, my God, the Yankees are just going to run away with it. Nobody really has a chance. They're going to smash through everyone in the AL. I'm not buying that just yet. They got to show me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like every year something happens and then they're in a tough spot series against a hot team. Who's going to be the hot team this year? I don't know. Toronto, Angels, Astros, who knows? The Red Sox, I wouldn't count them out right now either. They're starting to get their shit going. They got some players over there. So we'll see. The Twins, I feel like the Twins are less a sleeper this year. Like, I feel like maybe one of these, because usually in baseball, the teams in the Central, in the AL and NL Central, they've just had their one team make the playoffs, division winner, and they've been getting knocked out. They haven't been doing shit. Like the Minnesotas, the Chicago White Soxes, the Brewers, those teams in the Central, St. Louis, they haven't been doing much. It's been the teams in the East or the West, like the Houstons, the Bostons in the East, the Yankees, and in the NL, it's been the Dodgers or the Braves in the NL. So I feel like one of these Central teams might sneaky, like Milwaukee or Minnesota,
might sneak in,
this year. Yeah, I'm actually gonna probably I put a few bets this year already on some World Series matchups. Yeah, you get good money if you can pick both teams. Like last year, bro, right when the playoffs started, I picked Braves over the Astros in the World Series. I have it on the podcast. Anthony was freaking out when I did that, and it happened. He was freaking out, and I picked the Braves over the Braves Astros World Series and the Braves to win, and it happened, just like that. So it was kind of freaky.
But did you bet and win money?
Yeah. But I also had it on the podcast when we were doing it. I said that we did a playoff preview, and then in preview I said Braves Stros, and it wasn't the favorites to do it either. The Braves were not the favorites, neither were the Stros.
That's gangster when you pull like some shit like that off.
Yeah, because I just like those teams too. I'm kind of like I like those two teams. Like I'll have no problem picking the Braves and the Stros again this year if they're both in the playoffs. Like I might do it again. But I can see like the Brewers and the Twins. I'm gonna see what the odds on Brewers Twins World Series this year. It's probably something crazy if both get there. I'm gonna try to check that out right now. I would say it's probably over 100-1. A little something, nothing too crazy. I'm gonna go buy some tomorrow. We're good looking out though, my man, my G. You always looking out for the for the yard.
You always looking out for me. I gotta look out for my boy.
You know what I'm saying? For the yardies out here.
Yeah. Yo, just in case y'all don't know, y'all can follow us now on Instagram, Critical Thoughts Podcast. Come hit us up. We there.
Yeah, we there.
We follow back every single person that follows us. It's lit. Please hit the YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, share the video, hit the notification bell. You know what I'm saying? My man Adam Neal goes live on Facebook, man. We everywhere, man. We everywhere.
We follow back and we hope your girl swallow back.
Yeah, that's a fact. He said that.
I said that.
Not me.
But, yeah, not him.
But I agree.
But not your girl though, but you know, your girl.
Yeah.
Somebody's girl.
Not
yours though, or definitely not ours. Not yours either,
not
but
ours.
Somebody's.
Not Adam's and not mine.
Somebody's though. Oh, what is this? A replay or something? Oh wait, I'm watching Mets Brewers. The Brewers are getting a big team. They go to Brewers up 10-2 on the Mets tonight. I'm telling you, the Brewers. I'm gonna check that out right now. Let me get a Major League Baseball sports book. Let's see. I know they're gonna have let's see. Let's get in this. Let me see what they got here. So we got. Come on, here we go. Okay. Major League player props, first 5 innings, alternate runs. What do we got here? MLB specials, MLB. Oh wait, no, I gotta go in here. I've got no contest props, MLB specials. Let's see what they got. Oh, nothing really. Let's see. Hold on. MLB game or MLB. Let's see. Oh, here, wait. Contest props, MLB specials. Oh no, they have the game stuff. They don't have no MLB. Where'd I find that? I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. Wait, MLB.
How's the hockey game going right now?
Oh, let me throw that back on. Oh, probably they don't do that until the games are over. Like during the day, you can bet on that stuff. Like while the games are on, you can't bet
but I
on
don't think
it.
you could do it live.
Yeah, while the games are on. All right, let's put the hockey game back on. It was 3-3. Let's see. All right, commercials. Probably go ahead into the third period now. Let's see. The Braves are winning again, 8-2. Los Bravos, papi. Let me see what's going on with the Tampa game, what the live betting line is right now. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, all right. Finally, they got it. It's 3-3, and Tampa's got an underdog. You get plus 105. I'm taking Tampa. Like Nem says, fuck your life. Fuck your life. Fuck your life.
Shout out to my boy Nems.
Nemsington, big shout.
Oh yeah, killing shit.
The young goat, Nems. You know what? Let me check out some who's playing tonight. Major League Baseball. I'm always looking to bet the Angels now. I'm just like hooked on Ohtani and Trout. Baseball, sometimes I get into like the superstars and like not really think about the the Angels and the Dodgers are playing tonight. They're probably going to be on TV somewhere.
How late do these games go for?
They go well. It's like any sport. Like the West Coast games come on 10 o'clock. So the NBA comes on 10:30. The West Coast games, same hockey, basketball. Hockey, baseball, basketball, and then so you'll get like the 10:30 games. So the baseball games usually start at 10. They don't really get the 10:30s. They start at 10, but they'll go on to like 1:30. You know? Like, they can go a little long sometimes. The baseball been putting in rules, though, to speed the game up. Like, they don't let the pitchers warm up that
That's the
long
only
anymore.
thing about baseball where I can't really get into it fully because it feels like the sport be feeling like slow to me. You know?
Yeah. Everything is so now, and we need the instant gratification now.
Nah, but it's always been like that for me with baseball. Like, I could play the sport, like I play the baseball and shit like that. It's fun, but it just feels slow, like watching it.
It is. It can be, you have to be a little patient. I was watching some last night, but then you start to like lose concentration. I was like doing other stuff. But yeah, I could do it better when I was younger because I wasn't like, I guess I was brought up into it and I just like, we weren't so, as time's gone on, we've been programmed as people to be more, we want it now.
Yeah.
By all the new technology they gave us and all this stuff they gave us.
Yeah.
Instantly. Like we go on the internet, we want this instantly, we want to buy this now. Like boom, boom, boom. Like before was
and that's
like
a great point. Like we don't want to get too deep into it, but it's like on some shit like the way they set it up for humanity in this way is like you use less of the brain and you get more impatient about things.
And more instant gratification.
Just alone with having a cell phone is so everything is there. Just think about it like this. When's the last time that you memorized the number? Just know what I'm saying? Just to bring it all the way back. That's the more of the story. Like back in the days, I the least I knew 5 numbers by heart.
You had to have a mental Rolodex.
Yeah, like you need like your home, your parents,
your
right hand man, like the people you play ball with, and probably the girl.
Yeah, I used to, dude. I knew. I had like 25 people. You know me with numbers. I had mad numbers in my head. I still know. I was gonna say I should know Anthony's number. It's like not on my head right now. I know my boss's number 917-355-6648.
Yeah.
Tiny's number is
Yeah,
917-520-1200.
Like the only numbers I probably know by now is probably like the most important was like my mom's cell phone, my number. I know it by heart.
I know
Probably like my pop's cell phone too, like my house number or some shit.
My girl 347-918-3604. You know what I mean? Like I know some. I got them in my head. Even some people like I should know Ant's number. She had the same number forever. If you tell me the first 3 numbers, I'll remember it. My boy Greg. I still have some numbers that are like like it just burned in my brain, bro. Like,
Yeah.
get them out. Like I still remember my first telephone number as a kid.
Really?
Yeah, 718-951-8866. I'll remember Scott's number, 718-258-7270. Mike D's number, 253-4847.
Like I remember my uncle's number by heart because I used to call it all the time for my cousin. And it was 718-253-1232.
Yeah, see?
Shit like that. I could still remember.
Yeah, I remember all those numbers, man.
Yeah. Like there's certain shit you just don't like. I remember my Flatbush address by heart.
Yeah, mine
29
too.
Flatbush Avenue,
Yeah.
Avenue K, like
950 East 14th Street.
yeah, like certain shit you don't forget.
Yeah. Yeah, that we had mental Rolodex. Like we had to use our brain more. We also had to be creative. More creative. We didn't have all these games and all these things that distract us. We actually had to like be creative with stuff.
We had to be creative with our time.
Yeah. We had to be creative with games. Like I remember we had to be creative. We didn't have basketball nets. Sometimes so we had to be creative. We didn't have like a real football field to play on, so we had to be creative with it, you know?
I had a lot of times like that with basketball because I was such a basketball head.
Me too. We did
Like
every
when I
sport
got
like that.
Yeah, like when I got really crazy with basketball, it was to the point we would set up crates.
That's what we did.
Set up a crate and make it into a hoop.
We cut garbage cans in half.
Yeah, shit like that. We'll set up a crate like on a dead end.
Yeah.
Play Utah.
Yeah, with a gate.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, with a gate.
A crate to a
Yeah,
gate.
yeah, exactly.
Crazy shit.
You put like one of those zip ties on in between the holes, put 3 of them joints, and that's it.
Yo, we were fiends, bro. yeah. Fiend.
That's our ever right there. Like making nothing out of something.
Yeah, it's on Saturdays because it was
Making something out of nothing. Sorry.
There was a certain parking lot we used to play just on Saturdays because Saturdays it was empty. During the week it was filled. We couldn't play in there, but Saturdays it was empty. So Saturday afternoons, that's where we rocked because it was empty. We had mad space. But then during the week we had to figure out other times to play football, like during the street, you know, and it was tough. But Saturday we knew we had our spot. Because that parking lot was empty. We were in there.
Yeah. And it was like a lot of things was like that, like especially growing up in the New York circuit. To me, I feel like that was one of the best times, like when I came up playing ball, because there's even people that I met later down in life. The perfect example is my man Fresh Flow. He knew me for playing in the junior Knicks. And then years down the line, when we were just talking about ball, he was like, "Yo, that's where I remember you from. You used to play for the junior Knicks in Flatbush."
I remember.
And I was like, "Yeah."
Used to play for the junior
and then I played season for YMCA, and he was one of like the coaches or some shit, or he was one of like, cause he's like 2 years older than me, so he was like in like in a different age bracket type shit. But it's like I played everywhere, like in New York. I played fucking city tournaments, Kings Bay season. All type of shit, bro. I was in Hoopland every Saturday, every Friday, Sunday, like even street. I was in Huddy, I was in G Wood, I was in Aviator, St. John's. I was everywhere bowling, bro. I was because I was so into the game, because like around that time I was set on going to the league type shit.
Oh yeah,
you feel me? Yeah. So the way I looked at it, a lot of times was like, yo, I gotta learn how to play with all type of bodies and all type of players. Like the rough ones, the ones that just want to hack all day, the professional ones, the ones that can run a 3-man weave, the ones that know fundamental ball, like butterfly defense, and know how to move your steps, know how to get to spots. Like I used to have a mental game, bro. I used to put myself, like, when I was playing with people I didn't know or older, like I was like, all right, this is the position I'm gonna play, and I was playing a live NBA game in my head. Like,
yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying, like, yeah, like
I used to play. I used to go to Flatbush, my boy's backyard. They used to have sick games in his basketball hoop in his backyard. We doing it everywhere, bro. Like, I didn't play on no junior Knicks or nothing like that, or even on the AAU team or anything. I played for St. Rose for a little while, but I was more at that time in those years. I was more concentrated on baseball and football.
Right.
But I played basketball just for fun, just because it was fun. So that was how we stayed in shape. Really, I stayed in football shape playing basketball.
That's dope.
That's really was like, you know, I had my running all the time basketball.
I was the opposite. Like, I used to stay in shape because a lot of times growing up in the summers, I used to go to Columbia. And when I used to go to Columbia, all I did was play soccer. I could even play basketball.
Soccer's a great sport. I wish I played soccer again.
Soccer is one of the funnest sports I play.
And it's a great for kids to build. Like, it's a great foundation sport, I feel like. And I never played it, but to me, soccer is an excellent foundation sport for young kids, because you play soccer young, you could jump into any other sport. You could jump into football, basketball, baseball, anything. You could jump into whatever from soccer, because it gives you the footwork and the endurance.
And that's why I had over a lot of people, because I've always like
that soccer,
like I've always had weight
crazy
on me, so automatically people used to like
think you were slow.
Exactly,
but you had feet.
But I had feet work, because even when I was playing soccer, I was neither playing middle field or like I was playing forward, because then you learning how to do tricks, you learn how to do tunnels, bicycle kicks, and all that. You get naturally, like, your juke game gets crazy, like your jab step game gets crazy, because you dribbling a ball on your feet.
It's mad hard.
So it's like, as you're running, as you sprinting, as you're moving side to side, lateral, whatever it is, you gotta stick with that ball. So automatically, when you take that and transform it into basketball, I'm automatically crazy on my feet. I'm spinning easy. I'm jab, because that was my thing. I used to jab step a lot. I used to fade away a lot. I used to jab step, go in, and then around that time, and one was big. You know, street ball was like a street ball at that time. Street ball don't really exist no more. Street ball was street ball at that time.
Yeah, what happened with that? Why did and one mixtape kind of just like?
One, I think the sport itself grew, and then the NBA, I feel, had a lot to do with that shit, because the NBA
changed.
And then when you had
you used to have a lot of athletic,
Rayford Austin, I think, was the one that made it.
NBA,
Skip to My Lou was the only one that made it from N1.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, I feel like the NBA put the stigma on, like, oh, if you play street ball, or you a street ball player, or you come from that, you can't make it to the league. It's not gonna damn, what's the word? It's not gonna it's not gonna
there's an emphasis on shooting now. You know what happened in the NBA too?
It's not gonna translate.
They killed the fast break. There used to be so much fast breaking and room for guys who are really not the greatest shooters, but could do some one-on-one stuff, but they were good in fast break and transition. You had a lot of athletic guys that could dunk and run. And now, because they the fast break doesn't happen like that anymore. They take fouls in the backcourt. They kill the fast break. You don't have as many athletic guys in the league. There used to be a lot in the 90s and that just had athletic guys that weren't really great shooters. You don't have as many of those guys anymore. They're replaced by these guys they call 3-and-D guys.
Yeah, that's
guys that can play D and shoot threes. But they don't have athletic offensive guys like Michael Finley type. That type of player is not in round as much, like a Kendall Gill, like those type of dudes. They're not as prevalent in the NBA anymore. More athletic than they were shooters. They could hit some shots, but they were athletic going to the hoop. That guy's gone in the NBA. It's more Klay Thompson's than Michael Finley's now in the wing, right?
Yeah. And then I think, well, you know, like the hybrid players, people like Steph and all that, they changed that a lot.
He made it his shooting game. Who wants to shoot? You know? There's more like little guards that can shoot now. Like a guy like Jalen Brunson might not even made it in the league 20 years ago. Because he's small and he's not really athletic, so he was like, teams would have just his game wouldn't have been. There's certain guys that would have been not really been around. It's weird how it kind of switched up a little bit. Like trying to think of the guy who I can show you, like, let's see, in the finals, like, there were more Wigginses in the league,
Right.
than there are now. You know, there was the Wiggins type of guys.
There was more role players.
Yeah, like Duncan Robinson, a guy like him, he'd be in the league because they had shooters like that. But like, I'm trying to think, like, who now was playing who really, with the way they played before, wouldn't really be anybody. Like, interesting. Like a Dorian Finney-Smith on Dallas. He wouldn't be a starter in the league back then because he's not really that athletic, and he can spot shoot, but he ain't a great shooter, and he don't really have a handle. So he would have been like a backup, hardly getting any burn. He wouldn't be starting on the team. But the way it is now, they like guys like him. He kind of fits a role where they had more guys who were just trying to like get nasty with it. Like Steve Francis type of dudes. You don't see many of those type of guys anymore.
Steve Francis was elite, man.
He was all athlete. He could shoot a little bit, but that dude was an athlete. And you know what I also think? I think AAU changed the game. Because these tournaments now, you have to see what happened in basketball too is you have to go to these what are they called? These camps. The basketball camps are huge now. And you got to pay money to these camps. So these poor kids that back in the days, all they needed to do was go to high school and be nice in high school. And they got found.
Yeah.
Now
but
they don't recruit out the high schools anymore. They recruit out the camps.
Yeah, but that helps a lot with development because they're going into like an NBA style program.
Yes. And I noticed it when they were showing this camp. I don't remember why I was watching it, but all kids that eventually were in the NBA were at this camp.
Yeah.
And it was like there's no more Iversons who didn't go to a camp. He was just nice in high school because it was free. So he went to high school and he was nice, and that was it. Francis was like, there was a lot of guys like that. They couldn't afford these camps. They were just athletic dudes at the park. And then when they got in high school, you've seen how talented they were, and they just made it because coaches were going to high school games. They don't really go to high school games anymore. Right. They recruit you at these ABCD camps now.
That's true. That, and also what a lot of these kids have picked up, they're kind of like marketing themselves now from high school. They got YouTube channels. They play a lot in these games, like these well, it's kind of the same thing you're saying, like these leagues that they build, like these camps that they build.
And you got to pay money to go to. You got to have $1,800, $2,000.
Or you got to be one of those selectives.
But it's hard. I'm telling you, the kids that go, or these kids, I'm telling you, the families, you can see it, they have money. They're not poor kids. And I noticed it at the draft, and people might think this is racist or whatever they feel, but I noticed that the players getting drafted were a lot more well-spoken.
Right.
They're a lot more like...
You mean like now or back in the day?
Now.
Oh, now yeah, but this is what I mean. Like, they're being groomed a certain way. So when you come in the league, you're not going to look a certain way. I
don't even know if Iverson could even make the league now. How about that?
Yeah, but that's the thing about...
Because Iverson may not have got to go to those camps.
Yo, but these are, like, what I'm about to tell you is kind of a part of the things that you preach when it comes to these old school players. A lot of these old school players were just straight groundbreaking players. And I felt his story alone, you know what I'm saying, him coming out of jail, being nice in football, then having that coach that he loved so much that kind of saved his life in college. Yeah. And then
I agree with all of that.
You know what I'm saying? And then coming in the league and trend setting, like he kind of trend set freedom with clothing alone.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be suited up doing what these guys is telling you to do. Like, you could be yourself. Like, if you want to wear a t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be, you know what I'm saying?
And I think now Iverson would have a problem even getting to the league. Because he wouldn't
Because of these things.
Yeah, because he wouldn't have been able to get to a school like Georgetown now, where he did that. I feel like they kind of is very campy, and if you don't go to these camps, the schools ain't looking at you. You end up at a smaller school. It's weird, dude. The coaches don't really recruit at high school games. As much.
True.
They go to the camps. It's very strange because it's, you know what it is too. during the high school season, the college coaches are coaching. They don't send guys to the high school to fucking go recruit during the week because the college team's playing. But back then, you had to have somebody recruiting high school during the college season. And now they just recruited the camps.
Yeah, right.
So it made it different. Before it wasn't, you went to fucking Iverson's high school game in Virginia.
Yeah.
If you heard about it, you send in an assistant coach to that game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now,
like real scouting.
Yeah. Now they just kind of go to the camps. They're not during the season. The assistants to stay around. They just changed it up on the low. You know what I mean? And then, that's what happened. Like, people don't even, when you see the YouTube highlights of the high school players now, you don't see high school games. You see the YouTube of a camp they're playing in.
It's true.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But then again, you know why they're doing that a lot too? Because when it comes to these camps, I agree, like most of the times you gotta pay, but I think they specifically get certain recruits that they know is gonna be dominant during this.
Yeah, maybe they have
this group that's coming up in the basketball
coach,
time. Yeah, stuff like that,
him or something.
Yeah, like shit like that. Cause some of these players is straight from the hood, or even, you know what I'm saying, and that's no color thing, cause you got your white boys that come from West Bubblefuck and they don't got it like that.
Yeah.
And they just good at ball, you know what I'm saying? Or they play a certain position.
It's like a class thing. It's a class thing.
Exactly. So, these are the players that's going to be representing this class. And they might throw them in like the Drew League, like that. Like, you're going to see the best players from different high schools.
Yeah, in the Drew League, you're going to see,
you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Then you're going to probably see, some
city ball.
Whatever state that you playing in, you're gonna see those dudes from that state, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then you're gonna be seeing the dudes that is they putting press on because they're all right, this guy's guaranteed to go to the league straight from high school. We've been watching him. You got the dude showing himself on ESPN. You got a situation like LaMelo Ball. He's just a thing that kind of blew up on the internet. Then the media caught on to it, and then just started following him from young.
You know what? I'm going to tell you, with the high schools, though, they do have the high school games, the big high school, but they're academies. You actually have to pay. They don't have no more, big time, public school, high school teams like Lincoln that get big. You know what I'm saying? Now it's all Montverde Academy where you have to pay $50,000 a year, get a scholarship, but somebody's got to pay something for these guys to go there. It's different now. They got these IMG academies. They're big money schools,
right?
Where they get most of the top guys who get drafted. It's weird. It's it doesn't even matter what you do at certain, for guys, that what you do your first year in college. If you were a big guy at Montverde Academy, your senior year, whatever, you're still probably going to get drafted top 10, top 15, regardless of what your college freshman year does. I see a lot of that going on.
True.
Some of these guys too. They just I remember Markelle Fultz was #1 pick. He scored points at Washington, but he was on a bad team.
Right.
And I was like, why is Markelle Fultz the #1 pick? Kept saying, I've said that, and I could kind of say I was right, but I was like, yo, they played at Washington, and the team was terrible. Why is he? And he's a guard. Why is he the #1 pick in the draft? I don't understand. I didn't understand. I was like, right. Where are they getting this from? Even Kyrie played a half a season at Duke, and I was saying, why is Kyrie the #1 pick in the draft? I was like, well, who is this guy? He played 10 games at Duke. You seen he was pretty good, but to me, I was like, whoa. But they were right. I was wrong on that one. I didn't see the whole Kyrie. I was like, this guy played only 10 games at Duke. He didn't really do that much. How is he the #1 pick? But they knew from his outer games and shit that, yo, this guy is really good. I was like, okay. And he was, though. So,
yeah, he ended up being a bust.
Yeah, no, Kyrie ended up being yeah, we're right. Yeah, this guy's good. I had no idea. From what I saw Duke, I wasn't impressed. I was like, who the fuck? Really?
Yeah.
How the fuck is this guy #1 pick? And I was like, oh shit. I was like, he's in NBA. Oh shit. So yeah, they what high school you go to really matters for the NBA draft, even more than what you do in college. They have their guys like D'Angelo Russell. He was okay his 1 year. He was pretty good at Ohio State, but he was #2 pick because he went to that big high school, with Ben Simmons, and so they knew they have guys they track on, this guy's
facts.
a fucking top pick, and it doesn't really matter what he does his first year. In college, he could score 7 points a game. There's some guys, and their first round pick. And I'm like, this guy, who is the fuck is this guy?
And that's the thing. A lot of these dudes be doing that internet shit. They'll blow up in the internet, have a certain fan base.
That's what it is.
You know?
And sometimes I'm right, and they don't do shit. And then sometimes they're like ballers, and I'm like, oh damn, like okay. Y'all already knew about this guy. I see you. Like Scotty Barnes was even kind of like that. At Florida State, he was good, but when I was seeing him top 5 pick, I was like, really?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, all right, he's pretty fucking good. He wasn't even the best player on Florida.
Nah, he wasn't. That's a fact.
And now
he ended up being
it's a NBA draft is, to me, is harder than NFL draft because the NBA got these hidden guys that they know are almost like gems, but they don't do so much. They play 1 year of college ball. They don't really do so much, and then you see them and they're like number 7 in the draft. I'm like, what?
That's a fact.
Like the guy Bo Knight, who was drafted by what team was he? In the 2021 draft. He was the number 6 overall pick. He played 1 year at UConn. He didn't do much of anything, really. He was all right. He was like, all right. I was like, why is this guy so highly rated? I was like, they're just shocked. Every year I get shocked by a few guys. I'm like, wow, these guys are that high? NFL, not really, though, because everyone's got to play college football 3 years. So you got to play some college football at that bitch. You got to get busy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't fuck around and be bullshit for 3 years. You ain't getting drafted. Because it's 3 years with football, too. So you have to show out in college football to get drafted.
Facts.
At least one season, you have to show out.
Now, but football a little different because, like, there's different positions.
Yeah, there's a lot of positions.
So there's more things you got to do, especially if you're trying to be the man in that position coming in. Yeah, you
got to have a big year. You got to show that you can get busy in college football. Best college basketball, you don't have to. But these are critical thoughts tonight. But college football, you have to get busy. Like, you got to get busy. Because there's a lot of guys, too. So if you don't get busy, somebody else on that college team in a lot of chances is going to get busy. Like your backup, if you didn't get busy, he ends up getting busy. Right. And then you got to transfer or something, and it just turns into, because a lot of times in college on some of these big teams, if you ain't doing good, your backup's doing good. He's going to do good. So the competition is really for the starting spot at the school.
Yeah.
It's almost like with Alabama. If you get a starting spot there, you probably have a good chance to go to NFL. Just for starting on Alabama.
True.
That's how crazy it is with the college, too. Like, you start on Alabama, like, they're loaded. So, like, you beat out good dudes in practice that were like top 100. So, it's like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And the recruiting be so weird sometimes. Like, the backups on certain teams are better than the starters on other teams. Like, and it's like the over recruit. And it's like, then you got these guys, and the draft guys say, oh, yeah, he didn't play much at Georgia, but trust me, he's good. And sometimes they're right and sometimes they're wrong. But, yeah, I think they should be more spread out somehow. Like, the power teams just get everybody.
Yeah.
Their backups are like, because their backup, the guys who go there at backup feel like if somebody gets hurt, they can start and they can get busy over there. So it's like a kind of a risk in that way.
Yeah,
and then you have other guys who are like, I'm nice, but I want to go to a school where I can be a star as a freshman. Like, I can be a go-to guy right away. So there's different ways to look at it.
That's true.
Depending on how you... I'd be one of those guys that go to the littler school and to play right away. I wouldn't go to the big school. I would
want to go to the little school and like build your way up.
Yeah, and just be like, oh, I can start right away here.
And be the man there.
Yeah. And and then maybe have my team beat one of these big teams with me as a star. That's the route I would go. You take a chance. If you lose, it's like, well, you're not as good as them anyway.
Right.
But if you could pull it out, you'd be like, oh, y'all beat Alabama with you at quarterback. We're like, oh, shit.
It's true. You'll be that guy.
Yeah. It's fun like that.
No, I think I'll go the same route too, like just to try to be that guy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Why not?
Why not, right? I'd rather be the star at at like Wake Forest than be a backup at Alabama. If I was a college player,
True.
I had to do kind of like that comparison. Like,
But then again, like the type of person I am, like I would just want to go to like even if I have the opportunity to go to a dope school and shit like that, and there's other talents there, I'll probably still want to go just because I'm that confident in my game.
Yeah,
you know.
But I would rather build a team up. Like I'd rather go to like the Mississippi State and be like, let me lead them to a SEC championship, and be the man for 3 years and get a chance for 3 years to really build up the team, be a starter. You know, you could be great, but you know sometimes it's two dope dudes, and they might like him more than you for some reason.
True.
His dad might be assistant coach. His dad might be more friends with the booster than you. There's a lot of weird shit going on with all that kind of stuff too. Like now these teams, college teams, they'll if they get a hot recruit, they'll hire their dad. Let's say their dad was their high school coach. They'll hire their dad to be an assistant coach, knowing that the two brothers that are coming up, they're gonna get them to go there. I've seen that's happened a lot too. Like all of a sudden, a guy gets hired as assistant coach in college. You're like, what? Then you realize his son is a junior at some high school and he's one of the top 5 guys in the nation. Oh, that's why you got hired, because they want you to, we got
it.
Yeah. Your son wants, we get to help get your son over here. Then his little brother too. All right, I got you.
Basically.
That's what happens a lot. You're like, oh shit. Then you realize, oh shit, his son is like, they're trying to get his son out there. That's smart, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
LeVar Ball didn't even have to do that. He just talked shit. And both his sons ended up at UCLA.
Nah, but he did it the smart way, though, because, like, he figured out a way to be on some shit like...
Yeah, he had his sons known in high school at Chino Hills.
Yeah, like, they were them dudes at Chino Hills.
Yeah, they ran an ill offense to where it was a very, like, wide open type of fast break, like a leak out game where they were scoring a lot of points.
Yo, there was this one game, I think Melo dropped 80 points, bro.
Yeah. And as a freshman, he averaged almost 20 points a game.
Jello, like they always doing
He was the
thing.
solid guy. Melo was like a basket hanger his freshman year.
Yeah.
He was one of those guys.
Lonzo was the one that was a good shooter, good passing. He was just polished from the beginning.
He was putting up crazy numbers.
Yeah.
He was averaging
LaMelo was the one that was
30-point triple-double.
like shit like that. But LaMelo was the one that was just shooting the lights out.
Yeah.
He was shooting from half court. Like he was just shooting and just doing dumb, crazy shit.
I think he was averaging like 30 a game.
Yeah, but all he had was the shooting game, and then like his senior year, and then once he started playing for like out the country and shit like that.
He went to Lithuania and came back. He was nice. When I noticed, I was like, oh shit. Look at LaMelo. He's bigger. His game is like refined now. Like Lithuania, when he went there, he came back. I was like, oh man, LaMelo looking crazy out here right now. He was like 6'7" now and looking crazy. I was like, whoa. LaMelo looking ill out here. I was like, yo.
And he got like a crazy growth spurt too.
Yeah. And his game was like, he just looked super like confident and strong, and like he was almost like in height. That senior high school is like, these are like little, like these guys ain't even like, they're not even, I'm not even worried about that.
Right.
About any of them. But yeah, Lonzo came back looking impressive. That's why I knew. And then he was draft eligible. I'm like, yo, he might be the best player in this draft.
Yeah. He's special.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I forgot who the first guy was who they kind of picked. They were saying was the top guy. I was like, I don't know about this. LaMelo looking crazy out here. And he's like Lonzo, and he can maybe shoot better.
Right.
I'm like, you gotta
chill out.
He's got some Steph Curry vibe to
Yeah,
him.
that's a fact.
I was like, oh shit.
That's a fact.
Because he even said, he was always saying like LaMelo was the best one of the three. LaVar was always saying.
Yeah.
He wasn't bullshit.
Yeah, like he always said it. But you know what it was is because he got the chance to look at Jello and yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like he got to see them both of their games and then develop his own
too. In high school, their cousin was on that team too in Chino Hills.
I don't know their cousin.
Dark skin cat.
Okay, yeah. I don't think there was his cousin, but there was some dude that was like super cool with.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
Their legit cousin was on the team too.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they were very tight knit group. They were all from like Chino Hills for real. They like came up playing ball with each other from
That's why if they ever get the chance to team up, it'll be crazy in the NBA.
Jello's in the G League. I can see him getting.
Yeah, like he hasn't. To me, he hasn't got his chance really yet.
I think next year's make or break. I think next year he's got to be on a club, like just on a roster. Like
Facts. Yeah.
Like who is he in the sub? Who is he? Is he with the Hornets?
Yeah, he's with the Hornets.
Like I don't see why they shouldn't give him a chance to be on the active roster.
Yeah.
They've got a couple of like meatballs on that team.
Yeah.
That they don't really. Like, yeah, they could give him a spot next year. Montrezl Harrell got it locked up for a lot of weed.
Oh, yeah,
Might get his
recently.
spot.
That's a fact.
Maybe Jello get his spot.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, it was like 3 pounds.
That actually would be smart.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they were talking about some like 10 years type of shit. You know, whatever. But yeah, let's talk real quick. Beterbiev, Joe Smith. Light unification, light heavyweight.
Oh, yeah, let's talk
Title
about
fight Saturday night. WBO champion Joe Smith Jr. against Artur Beterbiev, the WBC and IBF undefeated unified light heavyweight champion. This is 175 pounds division.
Ooh.
Joe Smith, famous for like ending, you know, he fought an old Bernard Hopkins, and that was Hopkins' last fight. Joe Smith beat him. But then after that, since he won the title, won a couple of nice fights, but he did lose to Bivol. And I think he has another loss in there. But he lost a decent fight to Bivol. But he's been fighting much better recently. He's gotten better. Like when he beat with the Russian guy for the title was a good win. He also knocked out Storm Alvarez. Then he beat one or two cats since he's had the title.
Right.
Decent wins, but this is a big step up against Beterbiev. Beterbiev is the same level as Bivol that he lost to. So Joe Smith, I can see him having one of the best. He's on a trend though right now where he can have maybe the best one or two best fights of his career.
Yeah.
I could see Joe Smith really having his best Joe Smith in the ring. And Beterbiev's pretty consistent. He's always pretty damn good. He makes mistakes. He's just so heavy-handed. He's got good tactics in the ring too. He's got ring generalship. He's a pretty decent athlete. He makes mistakes. You can hit him. He can move. He's not the greatest mover.
Yeah.
But he's just so heavy-handed, and his punch placement is so good. He's tough, Beterbiev. He likes to fight inside. He's rugged, hard-nosed. He's like a real like.
What's his record?
Well, the Russian guys mostly, they don't have as many pro fights. They stay in the amateurs a little longer, but then they fast track a little bit through, and they don't fight as many tomato cans. Their record is more real because they don't fight like the local guys that a lot of these guys start out with, the 4-round fights, those type of fights that pad records. But so Beterbiev's 18-0 with 18 knockouts. He's never gone the distance. And he has a couple good wins on his resume, and he's never gone the distance. It's tough.
That's tough.
Yeah. Joe Smith usually wins by a stoppage, but he's gone the distance in a couple of his big fights. He didn't knock guys out. But Beterbiev stopped everybody. Marcus Brown, Gvodzik, the two main ones on his resume. Callum Johnson, he's got to stop some. Kalajnik, a few guys. He's got some pretty good stoppages. He stops everyone. Let's see if he can do it with Joe Smith. I think Joe Smith is going to be maybe the hardest guy for him to stop. Because I don't think Joe Smith's been stopped in his career. His 2 losses have been by decision. Yeah, so he's never been stopped. So this will be a very hard guy for. And Joe Smith's got a chin. He's got some power too. Joe Smith's got power. Joe Smith, and he's a tough kid from Long Island. He's one of those tough white boys from Long Island.
Shout out to Long Island.
He actually, at one time, was doing construction while he was doing his boxing training and would like run on his lunch break.
Gangster.
Yeah. That's
a
what
goon.
He really is. He's not the most amazing technical fighter, but he's a mid-range hook. He throws nice hooks. He's long and he punches hard. That's what he does.
And that's what matters.
And he don't mind. He can get hit. He's got a chin too. So it's going to be a workman-like. They're kind of both workman-like tough guys. It's going to be a very a very workmanlike, rough fight. It's gonna be not for those punks in there. It's gonna be a root boy fight. It's gonna be good. I don't know what the undercard is. I forget. I think there's another fight somewhere else. Let me check real quick. That might not be the only thing going down this weekend in the boxing scene. I'm gonna check it out right now real quick. Let's see. Box Live. That's my go-to. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. Okay, here we go. TV. U.S. schedule. What we got here? Okay. There's actually boxing tomorrow night. Who's that, Anthony?
I don't think so.
Better BF Joe Smith Jr. Oh, who's this? Gonzalez and Barriga on the undercard. No, that's the next week. So yeah, it's basically Better BF and Joe Smith. Wait, this seems like Friday. Saturday also Gorman and Salick on Fight TV. That's a decent heavyweight fight. Not that great. The week after though, the next Saturday is a good fight. Rodriguez against my boy Sarissa Sorungvasai, the super flyweight Filipino fighter who I like, who beat Chocolatito twice. He's the only guy to beat Chocolatito, and he beat him twice. And he's beaten Estrada. So Sorungvasai is a real dude. He's back in action against Rodriguez for the WBC super flyweight title. That's a good fight. Like, Sorungvasai, I feel like hasn't fought in like 2-3 years. Also, on that card, the good card, Akhmadaliev is fighting Rios. He's a unified champion at 122. Martinez is fighting Arroyo for the strap at flyweight at 112. This is a good card. Then the next week is Maxeo versus Vargas at 122 for the WBC. That's a good fight.
Hey.
Chisora is fighting Pulev in a nice heavyweight fight that night. Oh, Madrimov is on that card too. I like Madrimov. He's fighting Soro again. Madrimov is this super welterweight at 154. He's actually a Triple G's promotional guy. Like Triple G promotes him.
Okay.
He's very talented. He's already in the Eliminator. He's fighting this guy again, but he should really be getting a title shot soon. Like if Madrimov wins this fight again, there's no reason why he's not getting a title shot at 154. I know Charlo is coming to the point where he has a lot of mandatories. Like Charlo's actually got some sick mandatories. It's almost like Jamel Charlo, who just is undisputed.
Yeah.
Anywhere he turns, he's got Madrimov in the WBA. He's got the tall guy. What the hell's the big tall guy's name? Sebastian Fundora in the WBC. He's got Tim Zhu in the WBO. Like, who pick one? I'll take any one of those mandatories. Probably got another guy.
Who's the Charlo twin that really want to fight Canelo?
Oh, that's at middleweight at 160. What he need to do is fight Andrade and unify against Andrade, or fight Triple G. Fight somebody else at one. He's fought nothing but stiffs at middleweight. His whole time at middleweight, he's fought like one solid dude in Derevianchenko. Besides that, it's been all bullshit fights. Fucking Charlo or Colorado Charlo. He's fought nothing but just talking about Canelo, and you fought nothing but burgers at middleweight. Like, you've been just fighting stiffs. Like, you think you're gonna just fight these stiffs and then just fight Canelo and beat him? No, it's not happening.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not gonna just fight these stiffs and then think you're gonna just walk in and beat Canelo. It's not gonna happen like that. He's gonna beat you up, and you got to go to 168 to fight him. He's just Charlo's just being stupid.
Right.
All that talk is just fake fans just being just biased idiots, yo. There's no reason, Charlo has no like angle to even get that fight. So it's like just stupid talk. There's no angle for him. None. He might as well fight Andrade or go up to 68 and fight Benavidez or Danny Jacobs.
Work your way up.
There's so many guys he needs to fight. Eubank, Jarrett Hurd, fight somebody. God damn. Murata, anybody. Fight somebody, dude. Like, he's tripping. There's so many dudes that he hasn't fought. Like, when are you going to fight some of those names I just named? You haven't fought any of them. None. Stop even saying Canelo's name. And I know he just lost, and you still can't say Canelo's name. Stop saying his name. Because you haven't even fought one of those guys I mentioned. Why should you fight Canelo?
That's a fact.
Caleb Plant, Benavidez,
Caleb Plant.
Eubank. Who have you fought? Nobody. You didn't fight Billy Joe Saunders. You didn't fight Andre. You're not fighting Jared Hurd. You're not fighting Chris Eubank. Go
True.
away. Do something.
It's true. Yeah.
You can't just skip all those guys. Like, what do we like? No, you don't get a Canelo fight. Of course not. Canelo's like, who are you?
Yeah, he said it. He's like, get the hell out of here, man.
He said that to Andre.
Get the fuck out of here.
But he said that he meant to Charlo same shit. Like, who are you?
Yeah.
Who you fought? Who? Monsiel and fucking Hogan? What? Stop. You won't even fight Munguia. You're mandatory right now. He won't even fight Munguia. Charlo should not even be saying Canelo Alvarez's name. That name should not be coming out of your mouth at all. And Andre ducked Munguia too. That's why he's a clown too. Andre been ducking Munguia and shit. And Alam Kanuli, his other mandatory at 160, the new Zanabek, who won an interim. He don't want to fight him either. Andre and Charlo are clowns. I'm disappointed in them. They're not fighting each other, they're not even fighting their mandatories. They're just clowning, just calling Canelo's name. Stop calling Canelo's name. Fight your mandatory. Clown show? Or let them strip your belts then if you don't want to fight your mandatory. Get stripped. Stop ducking your mandatory and clout chasing Canelo, Charlo, and Andre. I'm saying that right now. Yeah. Stop the clout chasing, fight your mandatory, and stop talking shit in the media. Because real heads, I don't believe you. Fight Chris Eubank. I'm saying fight Danny Jacobs. Come on, cut it out.
That boy talking that talk.
Fight John Ryder. Anybody. You want none of them. None of them. Caleb Plant, Benavidez, you fought none of these guys. Jared Hurd is at 160 now. Do something. Fight him. Do something. Munguia has been at 160, been both y'all mandatories. None of you's fought him. And Zanabek. But the Munguia situation is bad because y'all went in the media and both acted like Munguia didn't want to fight you. So you mean to tell me Munguia is your mandatory? You got the belt, but he don't want to fight you for the belt. He doesn't want the belt. He don't want to fight for the belt. When he already had a belt at 154, but he doesn't want to fight for the belt because he's scared of you. Stop. Nobody believes that. Nobody. You got the belt, and there's guys you don't want to fight because you don't want to lose the belt. And you know some of these guys are dangerous. Don't ever tell me that a guy in the mandatory spot doesn't want to fight the champion. Because I'm not buying that. Not buying it. He's got nothing to lose. You don't want to got the belt. Why would he not want to fight you? Like, come on. It just doesn't make sense.
If you're supposed to be that dude, people's gonna want to fight you.
Yeah, if you got a strap and you got a guy who's in the mandatory spot, he wants to fight you. He don't have the strap. He wants to win the strap. Guys are not scared like that of like anybody. Like champions, I can see they kind of like, well, I got the strap and this guy's tough. Maybe I could try to avoid him and fight this guy who's not as tough, or maybe I fight a guy who has a strap too. There's a lot of mixed in. But when you don't have a strap,
can't really talk that talk.
Yeah, like that dude, you can't say, oh, he don't want to fight you. That's crazy. Stop playing. Munguia been in the ring with some goons, and he won a strap. Munguia, he's a fucking pressure fighter. Pressure fighters are not, to be a pressure fighter, you're naturally not going to be scared because you going forward. You're getting hit. Munguia's not scared to get hit. He's coming at you. That's why you don't want that fight. Let's be real. You don't want this fucking young goony Mexican who's getting more skilled with Eric Morales as his trainer, who's a pressure fighter, who's a thumper. You don't want him coming for your strap. You don't want that fight. Because if you win, there's gonna be scars from that fight. That's a guy who's you might beat him, but he's coming out there with a ounce of what do they call it? There's a term for it. He's coming out with an ounce of flesh from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't like fighting guys like that, man. You gonna win. You win. You gonna know you was in a fight though. That's for sure. And You got, so these champions, I mean, they're pathetic. I can't even. And then they want to say Canelo's name. Like, don't even say Canelo's name. Look who Canelo fought since December 2020, right? That's a year and a half. Canelo has fought 5 times. And he's fought 4 undefeated champions in those 5 fights. And Charlo,
you have to respect.
And you have to. Charlo's only fought once in that time period against a stiff. And this dude Canelo's fought 5 times against 4 undefeated champions in those 5 fights. Undefeated champions: Caleb Plant, Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, and Dimitri Bivol. Undefeated champions. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's a fact.
Who the fuck did you fight?
Yeah.
Andre and Charlo never even
fought
an undefeated champion in either one of them. Not even one.
That's a fact.
That's insane. And then you got these YouTubers, dude, that talk about Canelo's a cherry picker, but with these guys, Benavidez, Charlo, and they don't care who those guys fight. They can fight guys off the street. They find an hour before the fucking fight.
Right.
And that's okay. But Canelo didn't fight the guy that you wanted to fight, but he fought an elite A-class fighter. He's not fighting C-level guys like these dickheads are doing. This guy's fighting undefeated champions. And these people are talking crazy about Canelo. What is wrong with these people, yo?
I'm bugging out.
Canelo be giving y'all every time out. It's a banger. These other bums ain't doing that. They getting by on fucking... Some of them are trying to give you pay-per-view cards that are straight trash, too. Like sometimes Tank be giving you some fake-ass pay-per-view cards. Like Crowley and Isaac Cruz. Them dudes was not pay-per-view ready fighters, man.
Yeah.
He's trying to get by on some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like...
That's true.
Who are these PBC dudes that they coming up with? Like...
They're trying to also, like, put them through the ranks to build up other fights.
Yeah,
like
they
Haney's
really
and
build
like
it.
that.
But is he even
Like
going to fight these dudes? Because none of those dudes are PBC fighters. And dumbass Floyd already said, we're trying to do in-house fights.
Yeah, but he's not going to be signed with Floyd anymore.
We'll see. We don't know that yet. Right now, he's unsigned. But I wouldn't be surprised if he ran back to Floyd and Ellerby. Just on that type of shit. Like, does he have enough guts to sign with Eddie Hearn? Or Top Rank? Can he break the trend? Because he's going to get a backlash for that. Can he handle it? I don't know if Tank can handle it. I don't know if his personality's like that.
Shall see. Word. That's true.
I don't know, because he's going to get backlash if he goes signs with Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, he is.
Which I think would be a dope move. But
it'll be a boss move.
Yeah. Yeah. Even ESPN, Bob Arum signs with them. That's a boss move. True. Because there's fights for him there. Teofimo, Josh Taylor, Devin Haney right now, George Kambosos. And then Ryan Garcia's with Golden Boy and top-ranking Golden Boy guys fight all the time. So you got that Ryan fight is there with Top Rank too. And all the fights are available for you at Top Rank. Lomachenko's available for you there. Javante signed with Top Rank. Every fight is there for him. Every fight. All the fights are there. Haney, Lomachenko, Josh Taylor, Teofimo, Ryan Garcia. Boom. All of them. Regis Prograis. He switches over. You can get that for you. He's there for you because he talks shit to you too. So that would be the move right there. Even Shakur is there if you want to get crazy.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Tank should fuck it. Tank is
even
like
Shakur is there.
So Tank should sign with who? Top Rank.
And Shakur is definitely a fight that you should be looking at.
So
Lomachenko is definitely a fight that I want to see.
So why doesn't he sign with Top Rank?
He should.
Right?
Like you're saying, he should.
Every fight is there. There's no more crossing the street. There's no more in-house bullshit. All the big money fights are right there.
Right there.
Right there. Every one of them. You can go in order. You can even fight a Richie Comey. It's a good fight.
True.
There's Nakatani. There's fights over there for Tank. At 135 and 140. They got guys at 140 he can fight, like Cepeda. There's a lot of fights. There's a lot of comp for Tank over at Top Rank. Top Rank's loaded at 135 and 140. You know what I'm saying? They're not 147 heavy like PBC and 154, but At 135 and 140, my God, Tank could have a field day. He can fight everybody if he's built for that. We don't know that. That's the question that remains to be seen. Because he's signed with Top Rank. There's everybody over there. Anybody you want. You got Fortuna, Jojo Diaz, whoever you want. Plenty of guys. You want to go to 140, fight fucking, what's the name, the Russian guy's name? That Josh Taylor beat. I can't remember his name. Ivan something. He's there, 140. There's mad fights. Catterall, whoever, anybody. You know, because I don't believe Isaac Cruz and Rolly. They try to make those fights like those are big fights. They're not. Those guys were just PBC creations. They're nobodies. Rolly ain't good. And Isaac Cruz ain't that good. Isaac Cruz will go to fight on the Top Rank side. He'll get washed by a lot of dudes over there. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Barrios. Put Barrios at 140, his 140 ass, over on the ESPN side, fighting Zepeda and them. They'll bust his ass. Jose Ramirez, Josh Taylor. They'll fuck Barrios up when he was at 140. He couldn't fight none of those dudes. Maurice Hooker, he couldn't beat. Now he's at 147. He's on the PBC side. We'll see. I don't even think he beat the Kavalaskis on the ESPN side. I think the ESPN side is underrated, Top Rank. They be having, oh yeah, Tank could fight Berchelt, who's at 135 now. They got so many dudes over there, bro. At 135 and 140 for Tank, it's insane. Jose Ramirez. That dude could have 5 years worth of fights just over there. It all there, right? You get Tank. He can fight everybody. There's a ton of guys over there for him to fight. If he goes back to PBC, he's a lame to me. You know what I'm saying? And he might do that. I don't know who the fuck he's gonna fight over there. Really, Isaac Cruz again? They're gonna do a Pitbull rematch. They've been having the rumors of Tank going up to 147 and fighting Keith Thurman. I think he's too small.
He's too small for that.
Like, people think Tank can knock out Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman will fuck Gervonta up at 147. That's what I'm telling y'all. Keith Thurman ain't no bum. A lot of people were like, oh yeah, Tank will stop Keith Thurman. No, he ain't stopping Keith Thurman at 147. That ain't happening. No, because Keith is starting to get warmed up. He's too big. But I think Thurman's going to move up to 154 with Spence. I hope Spence don't flake out on the Crawford fight. I'm a little surprised that fight hasn't been signed yet. Spence seems like he's stalling.
Spence Crawford, right?
Yeah, Spence is stalling, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if Spence plays a bullshit move and moves up to 154 and doesn't even take the Crawford fight.
Nah, he ain't going to.
I think he might.
He ain't going to do that.
Because he really should have been moved up to 154. And he's even said it, and I even said it before. I think he should have moved up to 154 like 2 fights ago. I think he should have skipped some of these bullshit fights like Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia. Then he did that bullshit with the eye, for that fake eye injury. Then skipped the Pacquiao fight. Then he had his little Hollywood car accident. He wasted a lot of time, Spence. That's why I think 147 Crawford, I think that might be the fight where he's drained and Crawford fucks him up. I can see Crawford knocking Spence out at one if they fight.
Yeah, me too.
In October, November. I think Spence looks good, but I think there's funny movements on the PBC side. Like Danny Garcia looked like he threw a fake fight. Like that was a fixed fight.
True.
Ugas fought really retarded against Spence. All of a sudden he was throwing no jabs. He was looking strange in there. That was strange. But yeah, he beat up Ugas. He hurt his eye. But he couldn't really stop. He couldn't stop Mikey Garcia. He couldn't stop Danny Garcia. He couldn't stop Sean Porter. If Sean Porter was an accurate puncher, he would have lost to Sean Porter. We all know Sean Porter. He's the kind of like mixes it up, makes the fight ugly, jumps in and out. Yeah. Not a great accurate guy, but mucks the fight up. And he had Spence going. Spence's skills won that fight at the end, but he didn't look strong against Porter. You know?
Yeah, he really did.
And Terrence Crawford stopped Porter.
True.
Terrence Crawford stopped Kell Brook. He didn't even give credit. That's crazy. Terrence Crawford got no credit for stopping Kell Brook also. I don't know why he didn't get credit for that. Only guy Kell Brook ever lost to was Spence and Triple G. And the reason he lost to Spence was because he fought Triple G for it wasn't really the smartest move. He jumped up from 147 to 160 to fight Triple G. Got beat up.
Yeah, why? Yeah.
And then came back to 147 and lost to Spence. Because there's too much weight jumping. And he had a fractured eye against Triple G. And he's Shane Gavin fought Spence right away. And then Spence fucked up the other eye. And he was fucked up for a while. But then he came back, won a few fights, and then Crawford stopped him. But Kell Brook's good. Him fighting Triple G, that was a hasty move that he kind of blew up in his face. Kind of messed up his career. Triple G was struggling to get fights too.
They're doing a rematch, right?
Who?
The Triple G versus Canelo.
The trilogy. I think Triple G has a chance. I like him at 168.
Yeah, me too.
I think because at 160 he was there so long, the 168 is going to feel really good when he's at 168, and he's going to feel strong, and he's not going to feel drained. I think he's going to have a very good fight against Canelo at 168. And Canelo's going to be a little down off a loss, maybe a little shaken a little bit, for coming off a loss. And then Triple G with confidence could come in early in that fight. And if he's doing good, it could be a rough night for Canelo. Because Triple G's the type of guy, man, if he's getting some confidence early against a fight like this with Canelo, I feel like that Triple G has a lot of intangibles in this fight on his side. He lost. He kind of got robbed in one of the fights. Canelo's coming off a loss. Triple G's been kind of just under the radar, winning, and Canelo's been having a lot of talk about him. There's been a lot of distractions. I could see Triple G fucking coming out and getting his win against Canelo. I can see it.
All right, if he beats Canelo, what's the next fight for him?
I don't know, because he's 41 years old. I could see him beating Canelo and retiring. Game over. Colorado. I saw it coming just now. Overtime. 4-3. Look at that. That was a banger. That was a nice setup. I saw it coming too. I was like, oh boy. When he threw that pass, I was like, oh boy. They're in trouble. That was a beautiful goal. That was good. I want Tampa to win, but that was good. 4-3, Colorado, overtime. 2 minutes into overtime. Boom. So it's 1-0 Colorado. Yeah, I think Boston's going to pull it out tomorrow. Somehow, some way. Look for Al Horford. They got to go back to Al Horford a little. They got to get Al Horford involved. I think that's the key. If they don't properly get Al Horford involved in this game tomorrow, they're going to lose. This is my key to the game. Just straight like this. If they get Al Horford early involved and look for him and have him in the flow, I think they'll win. I think Al Horford is such a key to the game tomorrow. You have no idea. What? So let's keep that a storyline. Let's watch Al Horford, what he does in Game 6, as the way it goes for Boston.
Yeah,
and we'll key on that because I think he's very important in this series, and I think they're losing focus on him. He's the guy that can throw. He's the guy because he's a big that can shoot. He's the guy that can throw Golden State's defense out of whack. Because he can nullify the help defense by hitting threes.
That's true.
And then it's easier for Boston to score. Look at how they stretched him out. Look at his fucking pass, bro. They stretched the goalie out. He was done. Look at him. He's already spread eagle. Done.
Yeah.
That was dope.
That was tough.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, he got him burnt. That was pretty. Vasilevsky had no chance.
Hey, yo.
Yes.
Rilla, Crowley, Adam Neal. We're going to wrap this up for y'all.
Wrap it up.
Live on on a Wednesday, we give it to y'all off the limb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But subscribe, share the podcast, share the channel, Hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on Instagram at Critical Thoughts Podcast. Follow us. We follow.
We're just getting started.
Just getting started, man.
We're trying to be like No Jumper and have like 20,000
exactly,
episodes.
Man, we coming for all that. We coming for Matt Barnes and them. We coming for Stephen A. We coming for all that. And we literally just got started on topics because we got a lot of new things coming. So yeah, man, stay tuned with us. Holla at us. This is episode, I think, 19.
Yeah. And we got the thing for tonight is hold your crypto.
Yeah, hold your
Don't
crypto.
sell your crypto. Don't let the fear beat you up. Hold the crypto. I'm telling y'all, do that. But yeah, we're gonna be pushing the videos out, getting them out to you in your inboxes. So just subscribe when you get that. And yeah, tomorrow night too. Golden State, Boston, Game 6 will be live on screen. YouTube, Facebook will be live. See y'all tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Peace.